players who come to scenes. Maybe they don't want to go up to these pros and ask them questions. Maybe they feel like they get it all the time, or they don't want to disrupt their mindset. And so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to have some specific time to maybe ask them some questions and learn about how they got to where they're at now. So I have some questions already ready for them. And then we have a mic up here. If you guys anybody wants to come up and ask our players any specific questions, then we'll do that. So first we're going to have these three individuals here, and then we're going to bring up two more people, and then we'll move into top 64. So first I want to introduce all the players I have here. I have Darkatma, HomeMadeWaffles, and all the way in, I got Lucky. Personally, it's a privilege to be sitting here with all these guys and seeing them travel to nationals, seeing them travel to all these big tournaments, and feeling like, man, the only time I'll ever be able to see them is to go to those tournaments, and they'll probably be super busy. So I feel especially honored. I know our club, Smash at IUB, everybody here in Bloomington, Indiana, is especially honored that you guys are here. So thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. Yeah. So I guess I'll just jump right into it and ask you some questions that, and you guys feel free to chime in. I'm not going to ask you individually, call you out. But the first question I want to know is, how many hours were you guys putting in before you kind of got to the level that you're in now?
I'll let you start it. You're right there.
Oh man, I don't have a good answer.
Back when I first started playing, I played with Mango all the time when we were like 12 years old. And because we were like 12, we had no responsibilities. So we were literally putting in 8 hours a day, easy, for like, I want to say 2 years straight. We played 8 hours a day. By the time we went to our first tournaments, we could wave, shine, up smash, do anything we needed to. Oh, really? Yeah, okay. Do I need to repeat all that again? Oh, man, that is a lot louder.
All right.
No, so what I was saying was when I first started playing the game, I played with my friend Mango. We grew up together playing, and we were like 12 years old. We were like middle school, elementary or something, so we would literally play 8 hours a day because we had no responsibilities at all. It was literally just wake up, go to school, get out of school, play Smash all night, all day, then go to school the next day, repeat every day. And then on the weekend, we'd play like 15 hours plus, easy. Summer was basically one long weekend, so 15 hours a day, like for 2 summers straight until we started going to tournaments. So Mango and I played a lot when we first started the game. You know, when we first started learning about the competitive scene, it was literally just every chance that we got to play, we played.
Wow. So definitely a lot of time spent there. Yeah.
For me, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You guys more or less about the same?
Definitely less for me. I think most of my improvement time came in college, I think. Just that the first couple of years of college, I had more downtime than I had before, and more freedom, actually, just because not living at home. So then at least a couple hours a day for sure.
Okay. Any specific things that you guys would do when you would practice that maybe other players could do also to enhance, instead of just playing, that anything you guys would do specifically to help get up in that next skill level?
No, I just wanted to beat Mango. and you wanted to beat me.
Well, go back to your first question since I didn't answer it. For me, there wasn't really if anything I did, it wasn't conscious. It wasn't like deliberate. I didn't know what days I'd play, and then when I did, I never knew for how long. We would just play until like we just had to go home. So like, I don't really know, but it was quite a bit. And as far as like the stuff I would do, I don't know, just random stuff, just practicing by myself. Even today, like that's usually how I get like the bulk of my real learning in. Like I really start processing stuff when I'm alone. It's like I got time to actually think about like what's going on. When I'm playing people, I'm not like in that sometime, but it's more of a flow. Whereas like when I'm at home, just chilling, then it's like I could like, okay, this is why this works or whatnot. But there wasn't even that was still unconscious. I would do stuff because I like I look at it, I'm like, oh, that looks cool, so I want to learn it, and then just do that.
I think that's a good point, and interesting that you say that because I actually feel like I hear a lot of people who say, I don't like to play by myself. Right. They say they don't like to waste time. Well, maybe 20XX now has changed that. Right. But especially before that, people didn't like to play by themselves and say, oh, you don't get good that way. So it seems like you disagree with that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I didn't live like, for a cool minute, I didn't live where there was like a lot of players. So I kind of just came up was, especially at the time when I was using Dr. Mario, like that character was like kind of like not really explored either. So it was just like a lot of it was just like reading stuff or just really just messing around and doing crazy stuff to see what worked. Yeah. That's how I got the bulk of my practice.
Cool. So far, I know you guys have been countless tournaments. What would you say has probably been one of your best experiences and why?
I mean, for me personally, it's Big House 4.
Yeah.
Big House 4, I'll never forget, dude. That was like the first time I had gone top 8 since I came back to the scene in 2013. And, you know, win or lose, I felt like the whole room was going to cheer for me anyways, just because of the way I was playing. Like, I remember when I lost to Mango, the entire room was cheering my name.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, this is the best feeling of all time. So I'll never forget that day, at least.
So it sounds like, and this is a little different of a question because you mentioned it, so you really feed off the crowd.
Oh, man, it's so... You kind of just have to, or I have to at least, you know? It really dictates the way I play. Like, if the crowd starts chanting my name, I'm probably going to do something dumb. And it's either going to work and the crowd's going to go crazy, or it's going to not work and the crowd's going to be like, oh, okay, look, you can still do it.
Cool.
But try not to cheer for me too much. that way I can win.
It just gets too crazy after that. About the other two of you, best tournament experience and why?
If we're talking off just like sheer like experience, probably Genesis 1 just because it was crazy.
Of course, Genesis was one, yeah.
Absolutely, dude.
But I mean, as far as like a personal, I don't know, man. Like, one I did really good and I was proud.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe Mango Juice. That tournament was super old.
Oh.
Recent, like, or no, there was one tournament in NCR where I beat Otto, and I hadn't played the game. I was telling you, I hadn't played the game. In like a
I've
year.
heard this story already.
Yeah, I was just like, damn, that's cool. Recently, I guess probably HTC, because like I had NorCal, play Plug, beat him. I don't know if he was playing. I don't think he was really playing good, but it was still like, it was dope. Had all my homies cheering, like the whole squad was there, and like I almost left that tournament too, because I had like a huge cyst on my stomach. I was gonna go to the doctor.
Oh, wow.
And I just chapped it out, and like that happened. I was like, oh cool.
So it was like about overcoming adversity and doing well. And
Yeah, I mean, not even that. It was just more so just like seeing the support in the room and like how much like energy, like just the region fed off that, and knowing that like I was like the cause of that was pretty dope. More so than like even winning against Plug. Just like seeing everybody happy and shit. Everybody was all high-fiving each other. Yeah. It was dope.
Dude, yeah, I was upstairs, and even upstairs, like at the little private area,
yeah,
everyone was going bonkers.
Yeah, everyone was
playing
crazy.
Yeah, that was.
And I think it's because like, you know, it's someone like me, because like it's not like I'm not like an avid winner. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's like a Mighty Ducks type of stuff. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was dope. I don't know. Yeah, I know you got one.
At least one, yeah.
I mean, most of my favorite tournaments are actually just from the audience. But like Big House 4 was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah,
the
Big
top
House
8
4 was amazing.
Insane, yeah.
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 Genesis 3 for sure.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just mostly the audience making it and people just being really hyped for it.
Oh yeah,
It's a mixed
being there
experience.
is like a completely different experience than watching it, on the stream somewhere. Yeah.
All right.
You guys got to go to those events, man. It's crazy.
So I want to transition to another question. Kind of just another way that players can grow, people who are trying to get better. What is the maybe top few things, not necessarily maybe number one thing, of how players make the most out of their tournament experience if they're trying to get better and get to that next level?
I think like a lot of people ask me this, and I always tell them the same thing. Just try and absorb as much information as you can. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to play as many friendlies as you can, but of course that helps. But I think what's most important is just watching as many different people as you can. Watch the pros play in pools, watch them play in bracket, watch them play in finals, watch them play money matches, because they're going to play different in every type of like set, because they treat the sets differently. So you get to see them try different things out to experiment. You got to see them do what they want to do when they want to win an important set. You got to see them, test out matchup, like stuff like that. So just try to watch and just really, really pay attention to what people do. And when I say pay attention, I don't mean just like, look out for what cool combos they do. Like really pay attention to what they do. Like pay attention to what percent they go for a certain combo off a grab. Pay attention to what percent they go for a certain edge guard. If they either go into the edge guard, just protecting the edge, or if they go off stage, try to like pay attention to how high or low the opponent might be off stage. Just percentage, stage placement, stuff like that. All those little things matter so much. So like really paying attention to little stuff like that can really help players get better. And of course, playing friendlies helps too, but just pay attention, guys.
Yeah.
Watch the matches and have fun at the same time.
Yeah, I like that because I think at the high level there is a lot of mix-ups, a lot of different things that you can do, and by watching that, I think it makes you a better player because you take note of it.
Yeah, no, it's true. If you see something enough, you're going to be able to recreate it, and then if you recreate it, you're going to be able to do it again and again. So paying attention is very important at tournaments.
What about the rest of you guys?
I'd say you just gotta have like will, man. Honestly, you really gotta have heart. This is tough, man. I think like the reason why some people are good over others is just through the fact that like they can hold water longer. Like if they don't get upset and start dwelling, and like you can't be that guy. And getting caught up in external stuff that has nothing to do with like anything. Like who's ranked what. Like no one. Like I give a shit. Like where you're ranked when we're playing. And I think that's. I don't know. I mean, that's just one thing. Obviously, like what Joey was saying with detail, you definitely want to focus on that. But you really want to just like, just play the game, try to enjoy it. I know you want to win. I know, like, there's a lot that goes with it, like, just like game-wise and socially. But, you really just kind of want to just really humble yourself and, like, do your best to, like, block all that out, because then you can really focus on the craft and you're not worried about like external just bullshit really that has nothing to do with the game.
When you talk about that, I think about when you played Hungry Box.
Yeah.
And you were talking all that smack, and then you beat him, and it's like you got into his head for that exact reason. You were just like, I got this.
You just get mad. So you get mad, like, he's clearly a better player, like, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like, that just shows you when you get mad what happens. Like, you just gotta, it's like you can beat me 100 times, man, but if I come back, like, at some point, like, I'm gonna get that one time,
Yeah.
And whether you can justify all those wins, like all that, like one loss is, I beat you 100 times, but I still got the one, And let's just start it from there, and then just take it like one step at a time. And don't get so caught up in like just like the outcome and who you beat, and who you got to play next. Just focus on what's in front of you, man.
I think taking note of your growth.
Yeah.
Being in the moment and realizing what you're doing, I think is important.
It's not even about like the outcome really. You just want to focus on like that, just the process and just flowing and just keep playing, man. Whether you win or lose, like it might be relevant. It feels like it is, but it honestly isn't. It's more about like if you have the heart to keep coming back. A lot of your like top players literally quit just because they lost, and like that's just like potential gone. Like that could have been. Because you just were mad that you lost a set to some guy you shouldn't have lost. Like, dude, no, the bracket doesn't care about that shit, man. Just go in there and don't. Just go in there and just do your thing, man. And if you win, you win. If you lost, you got all kind of excuses, whatever, man. It's always going to be another day, you know what I mean? Huh? People say, no, you shouldn't think like that. You got to, but those are people who just like let that toxic stuff get to them.
Yeah.
And when you let that stuff matter, you really can't enjoy like the experience overall. You just takes a lot. A lot of it goes away, when you start getting all that stuff caught up in your head.
All right.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah. Atma, do you want to add anything about that question?
Well, so one thing that particularly stuck with me, this was from like back when I was still in NorCal actually, was it was Lunan and Zoo were talking to each other, and then this was back when Lunan was still beating Zoo, and then
that was a long ago.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. And they were having this conversation about how Lunan was like, well, Zoo was like, how do I beat you? And like that's what like, or I guess Lunan told him to ask that question all the time.
Because he did that to King, and he ended up beating King the next time.
Right, that's you're right, yeah. So, basically, your opponent can often point out things that they thought were weaker parts of your gameplay. So basically, if you can ask for advice from people who are better than you, it doesn't always work. Like sometimes they tell you things that are really obvious, or sometimes they're like, "Sorry, I don't think when I play." So they don't have advice for you. But it's still worth asking just because it's not any extra effort.
It's more information.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
True. All right. Before we transition, I want to invite anybody from the audience if they want to ask any questions of the people here on the panel. So we got a mic up here if you want to ask a question that you wanted to hear their expertise on.
Be brave.
If you want to come up to the mic, go ahead and come up to the mic, and then I'm going to actually repeat the question back into you. Come on up. Yeah.
Cool.
You can pull it back a little, too, if you want.
I don't think it's on.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, it's on. All right. Is Smash still as fun today as it was when you started playing?
All right, so the question was, is Smash is still as fun today as it was when they were playing, first started playing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I want to say it's a different type of fun, though. When I first started playing, man, it was 100% to just be better than my best friend, who he just kind of crushed that dream because he became the best player in the world. So that was unfortunate. But then I realized, like, all right, I don't have to worry about beating him anymore because I can't do that, clearly. So I'm going to try to beat everyone else in my city, which I ended up doing. Then I started trying to beat everyone else in my region, Southern California. I did that. Then I went on the West Coast, did that in 2010. And now I'm here. Now it's like, all right, there's so many top players in the world that it's like, that the fun that I find in the game now is literally just trying to push myself over and over and over again. Every tournament I go to, I'm trying to push myself just to be better than I was at the last tournament. And that in itself is like the way I look at the game is how I have fun with the game now. But even then, I can just go home, play the game with a couple, crack a couple beers open with my friends and just play the game, random with items, and I'll still love the game because it's what I grew up with, man. Like from 12 to now, 24 years old, I've been playing this game, and it's just gonna be a part of my life no matter what. So it'll always be fun no matter what.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, man. One, I get to meet a bunch of new people, and I get to talk on a stage in Indiana. That's something I would have never done prior. I think just like the kind of people you meet makes it fun too. It just brings you like whole concepts of life. Like there's people here that are like raised differently than me, like from different areas, places I've never heard of. And I think, I don't know, that kind of integration, it's like that diversity. Like it's really important. And like sharp, it's like steel sharp as steel. Like I feel like I get smarter with each person I meet. Yeah. I know that like it kind of is tying off, like drifting off, but like it just, I don't know, that makes it fun just because it's like the fact that I can always meet somebody new, by playing a game that's basically like the same game. Sorry, like nothing changed about it, but like everything else outside of it has. I don't know, like just like that to me is fun.
Awesome. I think we have time just for one more question before we transition to the next group of people. Go ahead, you want to come up?
For people who are coming into the new scene and starting tournaments, how did you guys try to overcome tournament nerves or O2 saltiness?
All right, so the question was for new players who are coming into the scene and wanting to learn how to overcome tournament nerves and 0-2 saltiness, as he put it, what advice would you give?
It's kind of like I was saying earlier, you just go in and you don't worry about it, and just like whatever happens kind of deal. I know that's hard to think when you want to do good, right? So it's hard to like be like, I'm just gonna relax and enjoy myself when you really want, like when you want something really bad. But I think that's what the practice is for, right? And then, like all you can do is control what you can control. So just, just take it one step at a time, man. And you really don't try to don't sweat yourself. Don't make yourself feel like you have to win or you should win, because then that's when you or just tripping about stuff. Just kind of be grateful for everything that you got. Okay. Because that kind of just removes fear when you start getting grateful about stuff. Yep. You just realize how simple what you're doing really is. It's not nothing really think of it like I was telling Scar, imagine it as if you're your mom and she just walks by the room and she just sees her son and some guy playing video games. And she's just oh, whatever. And when you look at it like that, it's you take the stress off.
Yeah.
Try to be grateful though, man, and appreciate that you get to play. A lot of people don't even have that.
Can't travel or anything.
Yeah, so just you know, when you do that, man, it'll remove all those fears and those nerves you got about worrying about doing good and stuff.
Yeah, I think for any top level player, it's not something that they've practiced or thought about until way later on in their careers. Like even now, I still deal with nerves all the time, man. I get nervous when I played. I can probably use any kind of match I've lost. I was probably nervous when I lost, dude. And it's hard to get over. It's not something you really think about consciously when you're playing. So I think the best way to go about it is, at least for myself, the times I find myself getting the most nervous is when I think a lot of like outside things aside from just play your best. Mm-hmm. When I think to myself like, oh man, I messed that up, now I'm going to lose. Like, I don't want to lose to this guy. I know I'm better than him. I want to really beat this guy. I know he's better than me, but I know I can beat him. Like when you think stuff like that, it can affect your gameplay. It can affect your mood. So just try to focus literally on playing good. If you mess something up, it's like, all right, whatever. I have another stock. That's the beauty of Melee. You have 4 lives. And then, you have 2 sets to lose or 2 matches to lose. So just always focus on the next stock, the next match, and just keep telling yourself, I can do it, I can do it. Just keep playing good, keep playing good. And once the set's over, then it's like, all right, well, at least I tried my absolute best every single stock, every single match, And I think that's the best way to go about nerves. As far as the O2 saltiness, unfortunately, I don't think I've ever gone 0-2. My very first tournament, I went 1-2.
All right.
Very first tournament, I only beat Neighborhood P.
Nice.
Still,
With my ice climbers.
you use icy?
Yeah, I did use ice climbers. But yeah, man, just try to have fun. Just try to have fun, and that kind of takes care of the saltiness. As far as the nerves go, just keep telling yourself, you can do it. You can play good. Just focus on the next stock, next match, It's Melee. Like, if you get rocked one stock, the beauty of the game is you can do the same to them and bring it back, So just always keep at it.
Yeah, you're going to have L's. Like, I don't care how good you are. You're going to get bodied. That just comes with territory. There's a guy named Les Brown. He says, don't sweat the small stuff because it's all small stuff. Think about that.
Atma, do you want to add anything to that question?
I don't think I have terrible.
All right, well, I just wanted to thank Lucky, Homemade Waffles, and Darkatma for answering these questions. Let's give them a round of applause.
Yep.
And we'll welcome up our next players.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of course, man. It was fun.
All right. We got 2 more players to join us for the last bit of this panel. Please welcome to the stage Kells and Axe.